deal with, the problem becomes compounded because we are introverts, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
We don't share our feelings.
Yeah.
We don't share our emotions. We don't tell what's going on. We don't, because we're men.
Yeah.
We're men. Right? So now the question becomes, what do you do to, one, prevent yourself from getting to a point where your mind is not where it should be? Your esteem, your confidence, because you're the man, you're the head. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Two is, what do I do to not get myself to that point, you know, or allow myself to get in a situation where I am going to be brought low. I found that as men, we have to be around, it's a good thing to be around other men that are strong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a problem today in the church,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of men are not men. And so that's kind of the issue that we have in the church that we have to really deal with. But this Bible says that iron sharpens iron, right? Iron sharpens iron. And so in order for iron to sharpen iron, we have to learn to kind of talk to one another, like real talk. Because the truth of the matter is, a lot of men struggle with things that we don't want to tell anybody about. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your title is. I don't care if you've been married for 50 years. It really doesn't matter. And, you know, one of the scriptures says, confess your faults one to another, right? And pray for one another so that you'll be healed. And so we have a body, a church, if you will, that's full of sick folk, because no one is confessing anything. And we don't confess because we don't want people looking at us funny. We don't want people looking at us less than what we are.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of hold it in. And holding it in is a cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that I had someone to talk to when my dad died.
Mm-hmm.
To add insult to injury, I had to watch him die and preach his funeral. You talking about somebody that lived with me for 13 years. Took care of my dad. And nobody to talk to. And then was in a situation that just brought me down. Way down. Nobody to talk to. I learned that living and life is not all about church. And we can, God bless you, all day long. But when you leave out of here, you're going back to reality. You leave out of these doors, you're going back to reality. And you're going to need someone to help you fight the fight that you have to fight, because you can't fight it by yourself.
Come on.
You can't. You won't win by yourself. The Bible says two are better than one, for they have a good reward for their labor. Threefold cord is not easily broken, right? So to win this fight, you know, it's almost like when we were in the military and we had to take breaks, we had to sit back to back. So I got this covered, and my battle has that covered. So everything is covered. And a lot of times it would be four of us. Just so all avenues of approaches were covered. Y'all feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
So we got to learn, you know, to kind of operate and bond together outside these walls. Go to a game. Go to a restaurant. And talk, real talk. Otherwise, nobody's going to hear. We have a lot of young dudes walking around hurt. A lot of young dudes that's walking around that's been messed up. And they don't have anybody to talk to. So not only do we need to open up with ourselves, we need to be able to discern. You know what I'm saying? And we need to be able to see what's going on in people's lives. lot of people, a lot of these young dudes, and a lot of us are going through stuff, you know, and it's hard for them to express themselves. We weren't taught how to express ourselves. We weren't taught how to let it out. We were taught to be a man, yo. Suck it up. Right. So us older guys, we gotta teach these younger guys, you know. But we gotta come to grips with ourselves and find out what's going on inside of you and be real with yourself. Because if not, we're gonna be in a heap of trouble. You know? I never knew that a man could have low self-esteem. I never knew that. And I didn't know how to deal with that. Because I was that guy. I was that guy. They evaluated me before going on to the SWAT team. And now think about it now. I'm 18 days out of the military. Not just the military, but 18 days out of the 75th Ranger Regiment. Mindset was completely different. If I needed to pull the trigger, there was no hesitation. I'm not talking about this street gangbang stuff where you just wilding and shooting. I'm talking about looking somebody dead in the eye and pulling the trigger. No problem. I'm trying to cope with how I can go from that to wondering who I am. We have to learn to talk. We have to learn to be honest with ourselves and open up. And let me tell you something else. You know, a lot of times where a man gets into trouble is talking to a woman about his troubles. We need one another. You cannot tell another woman, especially if you're married. You're setting yourself up for failure. You can't lay your burdens into the arms of another woman. It's probably not going to work out well after a while. But we got to, and I understand why. Because a woman will listen. She will listen and not interrupt. She will listen to all of it. So we have to learn to be listeners. It doesn't make you less than a man to pick another brother up. It doesn't make us less than men to share what we're really going through. It really doesn't. I think it makes you stronger and it makes you healthier. So we need to find, I don't care if it's just one person. You know, we need to find someone that we can really talk to. Because our men as a whole, you know, I think we're in trouble. Churches are predominantly women. And we have to come up. But you got to know who you are before you come up. You have to know your place in God before you come up. You have to know your place in your ministry before you come up. You have to be strong, yet humble. You know? Because otherwise you'll find yourself where I was. And as a result of all of that, what happens is, or what happened to me was, I became something that I never knew existed in a man, which was damaged goods. Because I got to the point, I don't trust, you know how women say, I don't trust no man? I don't trust no one. Why? Because I became damaged goods. So there's a healing that needs to take place. So that is going to come, I think, by a bond with men that is second to none. That is going to take men men just doing things together as men. More frequently than not. I think it will not only help us, but it will change the DNA for our sons. Because everything we do, it's already in them. You know what I mean? So we have to change that. And it has to start with the mindset, and then it has to flow over into your actions and what you do. And that's a process. Even the process of healing is a process. And it's not going to happen overnight. You're looking at a brother that's been damaged badly to where now everything is suspect. Everything. Everything is suspect. And here's the other kicker. You would think that after retiring from the state police, that's one income. The military, because I stayed in it 31 years, that's another income. So you're looking at a brother that's okay. You would think, I heard a brother mention Robert Williams, you would think that I would be okay. None of that matters. Whether when you don't have, whether you don't have or whether you do have, none of that matters when your inside is all jacked up. You know? So we got to start sharpening each other. Got to start sharpening each other on a daily basis. You know, the brother told me that the apostle was going through the book of Acts. And the one thing that they did was they met every day. Every day. I don't care if it's a phone call or something. But they got together every day. Let me tell y'all something that I've noticed about my Caucasian brothers and sisters. They go out to eat a lot. Yes. A lot. And they go together or they meet up together. And they do it a lot. Why? It shouldn't be any different. Especially within the body of Christ. The strength is going to come in unity. You know what I mean? Yes. It's going to take humility to talk about what you've been through, but somebody needs to know the stuff that you've been through, because somebody else needs to be healed. Somebody that thinks that they can't make it, they need to hear you to know that they can make it. Y'all kind of feel what I'm saying? Yes. It's crucial. It's crucial. Right now we are in kind of like survival mode. And we got to get beyond that survival mode. When you're in survival mode, you hurt people. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens because you're in survival mode. So we gotta get out of that survival mode. We gotta get into the mode where we're living for Christ. And there'll be some battles, yes. There are gonna be battles. We got that already. Paul told Timothy, endure hardness as a good soldier. I fought the good fight of faith. All those things. Put on the whole armor of God. There are going to be battles. But we have to get out of the survival mode. You will hurt everything and everyone around you. Whether it be fear, right? That's what happens. So we have to get out of that mindset. When people are trying to help you, let them help you. Let them help you. Hear people out. You know, we know the scripture, be quick to hear, slow to speak. Let go of the pride. The way up is down. You know. God works through people. I tell people a lot of times now, manna is not coming out of heaven anymore. The tools that we need to heal, the tools that we need to prosper, all of it is right here. He uses people. He uses doctors. He uses friends. And we have to allow that to happen. You know? So I just, you know, I told y'all I didn't know, you know, God usually gives me stuff at the very last minute. And I kind of hope y'all got a little something today. I would not want anyone to get to the place where I was. I don't want anyone to get to that place and as a result make the mistakes that I've made. I don't want to do that. There are way too many preachers, and if they're preachers, I know the brothers, if the leadership is hurting, you know people are hurting. The leadership is hurting. And to get to the body, you know, we can live without an arm or a leg, right? You can live without an eye, an ear. You can't live without your head. It goes after the leadership. It goes after the head. It goes after, he's gone after, and it's going after the men also. Because by the book of man, it's the head. You need to take charge of your life by being in total submission to God. You know? Like I said, you know, I don't want any of y'all, and I wouldn't want my worst enemy to deal with some of the things that I've endured. But I also want us to get to a place where we begin to heal. And when you see someone healing, allow them to heal. It's a process. Healing, you have to change bandages. You know what I'm saying? Some people have different wounds. Some wounds you have to change the bandages often because of the bleeding, because of the depth of the cut. And depending on the severity of the wound, they're going to have a scar. We got to understand that too. And not fly off because somebody else flies off at the handle. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We have to learn to respond to people the right way. You know, and that's Christ-like. So I want y'all to start to talk to one another, start to develop friendships that are stronger than death. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Begin to talk to one another more. If you have an issue, you talk to a man.
Yes.
Okay? If you can't help them with this issue, then you get somebody else. Look, y'all all come together. Say, hey, brother, so, and don't be embarrassed about it. Because that's the only way you're going to get healed. And the most embarrassing thing that you can talk about, that's the very thing you need to be healed from. You know? And the enemy doesn't want that. He wants us to carry it. So I want us to begin to talk to one another and lift one another up. And learn that what happens and what y'all talk about in your group, allow nothing to infiltrate that. Allow nothing to go out of it. You know what I mean? Because that's where that trust comes in. Nothing. I don't care what's said. Nothing. Nothing. You do that, then y'all will grow. You will grow as men. You know, no matter what your status is. Right? I believe God is looking for some great men because, you know, we're hurting and we're in trouble. So we need some people to be strong. You know what I'm saying? Right? The older men teach these young guys how to treat women. Teach them how to treat women. Right? Very important. How to treat women. Not worry about the reaction. A woman is a woman. Is a woman. Right? You be a man and you do what's right. You hold yourself and keep yourself calm. It takes two to argue. So my father used to say, if one is up here, somebody got to be down here. Somebody has to take the low road. If you're both up here, nothing's going to get done. So again, I hope y'all got a little something.
There was a lot of something.
This, all right? I didn't. I opened up my Bible, but I didn't read anything from it. So please don't beat me up too bad. But I want us to really get things together, and I don't want people to have to struggle the way I have, and continue to struggle because you don't have anybody to talk to. All right? Pray for one another, so God can show you things, not for you to reveal outside these walls, but so you can help one another.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And subsequently be healed.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. So and you're healed so you can be effective. All right. God wants us to be more effective. You should be effective in your life. That's all I have. I thank y'all for this space, and I pray that that you will use something, you know, and apply it to your lives. Don't just take it and leave it, but apply it. Whatever is needed for you, apply it to your lives from this day forward. Amen.